This video is just a quick talk about the recent emerging discussion about cryptocurrency adoption in the gaming space, especially with this beautiful report that was done by Upper Echelon Games, which highlights Ubisoft's intentions towards the gaming community, motivated by the benefits that crypto can bring. And I do not say benefits in the positive sense that would uh, give community motivation to support this kind of thing. In fact, I don't call this a cryptocurrency adoption at all. The approach, which was once again highlighted by Upper Echelon Games, a beautiful report that you should go watch, is really more of a form of gamification than adoption. And here's why. When it comes to gamification, or rather adoption, let's start with adoption. When it comes to a technological adoption, there is a genuine form of utility that is being presented to whatever audience this product is given towards. So I'm going to give you an example of a bad product, a really bad product that came out. I think it was a collaboration between Asus and Garmin, the SatNav firm. And this is, I believe it was referred to as the Garmin phone. I think it was it's one of the top 10 meme phones, if not at the top. And it was meant to be a combination between SatNav technology, aka Garmin, and of course the Android tech provided by Asus. And it was a monumental failure. It was the flop of all grand flops. But guess what? It still has utility. Whatever you have to say about this phone, you can still make a phone call. Perhaps the sat nav is somewhat reliable. I don't know. I've never put my hands on it myself, but really the reception for it was bad, and yet you can dignify a purchase by saying, well, this is a fun looking phone, and hey, I could make a phone call with it. That is a technological adoption. That is something that, you could always find a way to dignify a purchase of. Gamification is essentially creating a game or gamifying a particular routine that could potentially be toxic. I mean, take for instance just content creation. I could be a victim one of these days to content creation. Let's call it content creation toxicity or algorithm toxicity or whatever you want to refer to it. Me constantly pandering to what the algorithms want and, sacrificing my health, I'm not married right now, but if I were married and I had kids, I'd sacrifice that, all for the sake of the thrill of gamification. Except for YouTube, at least you'd have the potential of making money. So that's maybe that's a good incentive for gamification. But in this particular instance, what Ubisoft is endorsing, like it's just a more colorful interaction with ads, and you get a bit of money out of this or whatever crypto form of reward. And the reason why I made this video is because I wanted to encourage gamers who have a shallow understanding of cryptocurrency or a surface understanding to at least try to engage with cryptocurrency. If you got $20 or $15, I'd say 50. 50 is a good number. If you have $50 lying around, just get in there and buy something. Try moving a coin from one wallet to the other, just so you can see how cryptocurrency actually works, how the blockchain works, and just read about it if you don't want to spend. But the reason why I'm telling you this is that there are positives to blockchain. Blockchain isn't necessarily a money-making scheme. Like, the technology behind it is just amazing. I'll give you an example. You can solve voter fraud with it, just because of the way it secures data, and there's no chance of falsification because it's all peer-to-peer. And the whole scheme of the public ledger. We've had this solution for however long the Bitcoin has existed, simply just building a ballot box based on the cryptocurrency technology. There are currently massive blockchain solutions that are being developed for environmental preservations. Some that even involve preserving the dying population of bees. And I just want people to understand that there is a stark difference between the two, gamification and adoption. And I think but you know what? Here's the thing. There is actually a game out there that so far has been exhibiting what I would say are decent signs of adoption, and that would be Star Atlas. It's a game that's being developed on the Unreal Engine. I do not think that it necessarily is offering the same scope of what Star Citizen is trying to offer. And I know Star Citizen is being accused of scamming and whatnot. But I do think that it's going to be a long time before we actually see this game flourish if it is being developed genuinely, and assuming that the blockchain technology is well integrated. And that's a product that I think everyone should check out, just so you can have an idea of what a healthy adoption may potentially look like. And the last thing I want to leave in this video, just as a silver lining or a positive takeaway from this Ubisoft fiasco. Ubisoft could be the case study that after all the rage and toxicity dies down, in which a company emerges and says, this is how Ubisoft has done things, this is how we'll do it, and we're definitely going to do a better job. So I'm kind of, optimistic or glad that this is happening, in the sense that what could happen afterwards. I certainly am not happy of the direction Ubisoft is going towards. And if we have anything to learn from Steam's decision to ban NFT or cryptocurrency gamification, I'm not going to say adoption. The funny thing is, Steam has actually had experience with cryptocurrency, namely Bitcoin, because it wanted to give access to non-privileged players. I think it was during a case in 2011 where they adopted Bitcoin, but because of the expenses incurred by the transaction, it was even far more difficult to, if someone bought a game, I remember it was even difficult to compensate them. It would actually cost them more just to refund them because of how overloaded the network was. And that was one experiment that was a colossal failure, and I think they shut it down within 24 hours. So Steam has made a wise decision in banning crypto NFT related products, because simply the technology isn't ready yet. But just because the technology isn't ready doesn't mean that we shouldn't be excited about it.